Next up, we'll be having Reuben, the head of marketing of LEAD Lead, and he'll be talking about the evolving consumer journey, how consumer journey is being evolved, and how can we learn from it. And hi, Reuben.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Reuben. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. You'll be sharing with us about the evolving consumer journey, how it differs from time to time, how their likes and dislikes changes, and how we can adapt to it, especially during this time. Will be anytime when you're ready, you can take it away.
All right, so I'm not able to see the chat section, so I would appreciate it if along this whole
Yeah,
session, if you can.
yeah. The last 15 minutes is for question Q&A, so I'll help you with the Q&A once you're done with the presentation.
All right, so should we get started right now?
Yeah, I can see your slide. You can take it away anytime.
Okay,
All
so
right.
thanks again for joining the session. I hope everyone has had your lunch and staying safe and also staying home. Today, let's talk about the evolving customer journey, right? And how we can put our customers first instead of tools. Now, when I talk about tools, it means digital marketing tools. So I find that a lot of people are looking at tactics and the tools, like for example, Facebook ads, Google ads, before putting their customers first. So let's talk about that today, right? Now, quickly introduce myself again. My name is Reuben, head of marketing at Lead. And Lead is a tech institute where we teach three main courses: data science, full stack web development, and also digital marketing. I'm also owner and co-founder of Cat Studio, a music and dance school back in Penang, and founder of Cat Insights marketing agency, where we help companies and also corporates with their growth marketing, right? And I've been blessed enough to be able to help companies like CapitaLand, Sony Malaysia, Nando's, QDs, Heineken in their digital marketing strategies. And some of you may know me as a music producer on the side as well. And I still do some music on the side. So if you like to find more about that, you can always Google me up. Yeah. So let's talk about today's session. It's not so much about me today, but more about you. So I assume that a lot of people watching this session will be business owners, entrepreneurs, and also maybe people who wants to learn how to do better marketing, right? So let's start off this session today, right? How did you meet? Let's just think about this, right? Everyone here has a partner today, right? So how do you first meet your wife, husband, girlfriend, or boyfriend? I'm going to give you like 5 seconds to think about that. How do you first meet your wife, husband, girlfriend? If for those who are not married, girlfriend or boyfriend, right? All right, think about it. Put them down in the comment section. I'll come back to that later at the end of the session. Now, for the guys, right? Maybe it looks something like this for you. All right, I'm going to throw out a journey for you, right? So maybe first of all, you have a need. For most guys, right, they'll go out there and say, oh, having a girlfriend is a pretty cool thing, right? So the next thing you do is you look for sources to look for girls, right? So the thing you do second is you put up a profile maybe on Tinder. So some of us actually use technology to help connect to each other. That's what we do. Number three, what's going to happen is the ladies on the other end will start looking at your photos, your profile and thing, and evaluate you. Are you hot? Are you someone who I want to talk or be with, right? What's going to happen then is you probably go on a date. After a few exchanges, of course, a few messages and exchanges, you probably go on a date. Now, after that, after a few dates, you probably ask her to be your girlfriend, right? And if you're successful in that, then she becomes your girlfriend at the end of the day. Now, when she becomes a girlfriend at the end of the day, she probably gets, depending on how you treat your girlfriend, guys, maybe she becomes very happy, right? So what she does is she posts pictures of you online on Facebook, on Instagram, right? Because she's really happy. So what I've shown you here today is known as the customer journey for you, right there. So this is basically your customer journey. Now, of course, I have a disclaimer down here. Results may vary because, well, this is a typical customer journey for partners, but then it might be different again. Again, this thing might turn sour as well. So instead of having a success at the end of the day, sometimes there's buyer's remorse as well. So she deletes you on Facebook and deletes you from her life, and that's it. She doesn't see you anymore. So sometimes we have buyer's remorse as well. So this is basically the same. Now, dating is exactly the same as putting up a marketing sales funnel or a customer journey. So the thing is this: if dating worked that way, right, it takes so many stages to come to an end point. Why are we so caught up trying to sell something immediately online, right? We put up a Facebook ad on Facebook, and immediately expect sales will come inside. After 2 or 3 days, we don't see sales, then it doesn't work anymore, right? We all do that. Now, how many of you are guilty of this, right? First, you start or you have a business today, and then someone said that Facebook is a place to go. So you go on Facebook and you started running ads on Facebook, right? Put out ads. You went into some courses to learn about how to put out ads on Facebook, and you ran some ads, and you got some sales, but it's not all that great, right? We all have experienced this before. Then you look into ways to optimize those ads, right? You join courses, you join master classes, you watch the Exabytes Marketing Fest to learn for ways to optimize the ads. You're looking for clues in those kind of places like here, right? To learn how to optimize the ads to get more sales, basically, right? Still, nothing too drastic happens after that. Number 7, you decided that Facebook is not the place to go for, right? And you start looking for the next silver bullet. You start to look for the next silver thing, right? You decide, and you come across someone that says TikTok is now the bomb right now. You're gonna go for TikTok. TikTok, everyone's on TikTok, and here we go again. Back one whole vicious cycle, right? You go back into number 2, and then go through that vicious cycle again by trying out tools and also tactics again, right? Now, if your thought process was like that, right? If you have done marketing that way, you were relying on tools instead of looking for actual ways to serve your customer, right? You were looking for tactics instead of strategy. So what I'm proposing to you to do today is to focus on your customer and their journey first. The tools will normally come later. So I'm asking you to actually forget things like Facebook ads, Google ads, chatbots, SEO. Forget all of that. Take it out and throw it out of your mind because you don't need that right now. What you need is to focus on your customers right now. And these are the 2 big main questions you should ask yourself today. First question is, who are they? So this is, who are your customers, right? What are their demographics? What are their psychographics as well? You got to understand their behavior and where they are as well. Now, number 2, where do they hang out at? Now, when we talk about where do our customers hang out, we have the offline domain and also the online domain, right? Now, of course, right now we are all in the MCO, so a lot of our customers are hanging out online. But where online? Facebook, that could be one, but not everyone hangs out on Facebook. What are the blogs they read? What are the websites they go to? There's so many other places that you want to figure out, right? You want to find out from them. So 2 questions to always think before you touch into any tools, Facebook or whichever, is who are your customers and where do they hang out at? So what's the point of sales and marketing? Now, this is a whole marketing talk today, but what's the point of sales? In fact, now your answer will say to get more clients, right? So we have 2 assumptions from here. Assumption number 1 is if my product or service is great, then it should be profitable. Just work on the product. A lot of people will tell you this, right? Just work on the product, just work on the product. It will go by itself. No, marketing does not work that way. Sales does not work that way, right? We have to actually put some active marketing to tell people about our product and why is it great. That's one assumption. Now, assumption number 2 is just get attention. Sales will come. You probably heard this from people like Gary Vee, right? Get attention online, put out content online. Now, the truth is, no, this will not be the way to actually attribute to sales and also to marketing, right? Because the rule is this, social media is not a license to spam. We are all have seen this before, right? People go on social media, they act as though social media is a platform for advertisements. So they advertise, they join into Facebook groups, they start posting up their ads, they start posting up their infomercials, their sales pitches. I mean, I run a few groups and I see people coming to the groups and then pasting that over and over again. We all seen this, but social media is not a license for spam. So stop acting like it's a place to spam and it's also to advertise. Because how do we feel about people who talk about themselves all the time, right? It's always me. I'm great. Look at me, what I've done last week, what I've done yesterday. Have you seen that post I posted 2 days ago? Do you like that photo? All these kind of things. So people are talking about themselves all the time. So how do we feel about those kind of people? It's always me, right? So when it comes to social media, when it comes to the customer journey itself, it's all about the customer, not about you, right? All right, so let's start backwards again. I've dealt long to that, but let's start backwards. How do you get paying customers? Now, some of you would say things like, oh, do sales pitches, right? Do some cold calls, participate in some pitching events, look up some contacts in the phone books and just call them up. Sell, right? Number 2, request for proposals. Maybe you're a business who get RFPs from companies. So a business now needs some service from a business like yours, and they actually reach out to you for proposal, RFPs. You run ads maybe. You go on Facebook, you go on Google, you run ads so that people can be aware about your business and products. And number 4, maybe you go for some networking, right? And back to the customer journey again. So we talk about customer journey, but what is customer journey really is? Now, if you Google customer journey online, you probably come across something that looks like this, right? This is a customer journey. So what are we looking at from this, illustration here? We're looking at the little customer journeys that a customer typically goes through before becoming aware about your business, to considering it, to purchasing something, right, to receiving your service, and then to becoming a loyal customer. Now, from all those dots you see here, I'm not sure you can see my screen and my mouse here, but you can see that we have things like PR, radio, word of mouth, spelled wrongly there, events, search, display ads, chat, advertorial. So basically, these are little, what we call touch points. Touch points in customer journey that a customer typically touches as they go through that journey. But the problem is, not all customer goes through that same exact journey. But it's important to understand how a typical customer, right, would go through that customer journey as they go into becoming your customer and becoming a loyal fan after that. Now, one question you might have after this is, now this whole customer journey has to be different, right, during the new norm right now. Now, here's the truth. The nature and the behavior of people from 1,000 years ago and right now is exactly the same. Their aspirations, what they want, what they feel that they have to get is exactly the same. The only difference is the platform they use and the way they speak. All right. The way they speak might be different right now because we follow the modern lingo, but what we want inside, right, our desires are exactly the same 1,000 years ago and right now. The platforms we use might be different. We use things like Facebook, we use things like Instagram, whichever, but it's exactly the same. So we talk about customer journey. So what is really a customer journey? Now, you probably have heard about the sales funnel, right? Marketers would know what I'm talking about. If you're not a marketer, you're not a business owner, you're probably like, you don't know what I'm talking about. So we have heard of sales funnel. We heard of conversions funnel. We have heard of the R funnel, aka the Pirate Funnel by Dave McClure, right? Do you know the AARR? Just type it down in the chat section if you know what that stands for. All right, so we have a few funnels there, but it all relates back to the same. So it's all the same thing. R funnel, conversion funnel, sales funnel, customer journey is the same thing. And it always looks like a sales funnel. It's always a funnel here. So this is a quick funnel that I got online that shows exactly the simple ways of looking at a funnel itself. So we are looking at this as a customer journey itself. All right. So first of all, in the top of the funnel, every customer today has a need, right? We all have needs today. So your customers have needs today. We have a need to eat. We have a need to feed. We need to impress. A need to stay healthy. What else? A need to fulfill their boredom. A need to fulfill their whatever desires. A need to be fulfilled, right? We all have needs today. What is your customer's need? Think about that for like 10 seconds. Now, once you know your customer's need, how do you then find better clients? But the better question to ask is, how do better clients find you? Right? So think about that for a moment. Instead of finding better clients, how do better clients find you? So once we actually understand this whole mindset in our mind, then comes to the awareness stage, right? So we know that our customer has a need. Now, how would your customers find you? Now, some examples that we do before would be things like PR, right? We go on radio. Maybe on Facebook, you post out something on Facebook, on a Facebook group somewhere, or you run some ads on Facebook to let people to be aware of you, right? Or you post things on forums, you go to, I don't know, whichever, right? Now, most people rely on their network and their word of mouth, right? So this is why people join networking groups. You see people joining things like BNI. Who here knows what BNI is? BNI, people join Toastmasters, people go into WhatsApp groups, auntie and uncles, they go into WhatsApp groups, people join Facebook groups to be part of this community, to be part of this network, so they can actually rely on word of mouth. Now, the problem in this, in word of mouth is this. Word of mouth can be unpredictable, all right? You never know when someone's going to actually give you a referral or not. So you have to actually architect how people find you. So marketing is still the same before the new norm and even in the future. Two questions again is who is your customer and where to get them. So I'm going to give you some examples, right? So at Lead, we teach courses, data science courses, full stack courses, digital marketing courses. So who are we targeting? Now, if I know my audiences who are digital marketers would love a software like MailChimp. By the way, MailChimp is an email marketing software. I'm sure most marketers would have heard of MailChimp. So if I know my audience love MailChimp, what I'll do is I'll advertise to MailChimp's fans on Facebook. So go to Facebook ads, target these people based on interest on MailChimp and target their fans. So this is one way we target people on Facebook, right? So we know who our audience are. They like MailChimp, right? They also spend time on Facebook, and therefore we use Facebook ads to target them. Okay. Now, it's not always easy to figure out where your customers are hanging out at, right? The internet is a large space. We're just talking about the internet digital world now, right? We're not talking about the offline world yet. But we know that our customers are hanging out somewhere, and it's not always easy to figure out where they are hanging out. So, a few things I want to show you today. So, one of the things you can do is to check your analytics, and this is in using things like Google Analytics. So, I have two tactics of two ways basically to check your analytics to find out where people are actually hanging out at. So, go to your Google Analytics. I hope you have a Google Analytics. Please install that on your site. Go to your Google Analytics, go down to acquisition, go down to all traffic, and the first thing you're going to see is channels. So channels will basically tell you where your audience are coming from. So from this screenshot here, you can see that we have the organic search, social, direct, email, and referral. But one very important thing is to look at the conversions from those sources. I'm going to give you like 10 seconds to look at this one here. So from here, sorry, you can begin to see which channels is actually giving you the conversions that you want. And this is all from Google Analytics, yeah? You don't have to go very far to be able to do this. All right. So the second thing you're going to see is under Google Analytics, go down to all traffic again, and go down to your referrals section. Have Google Analytics available today, you can begin to see all this is inside Google Analytics itself. So this is what I normally do. I'll see which is my highest or best platform itself, which one gives me most sales itself. And then I'll go there and focus there. Can I run an ad on that platform? Can I do something on that platform? Right? So this is some way to think about it. Now, the second way of understanding where your users are actually hanging out at is to ask your current customers where they go to. Now, this is something that I feel a lot of businesses do not do. Once they sell something to a customer, they leave the customer just like that, right? So one very important thing to do is to ask the customers things. And the best way to do that is to email them. So I've actually prepared for you an email template that I will send to you at the end of this session. It looks something like this, exactly what you see on the screen. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to use something like MailChimp and email your customers and say, hey, where do you hang out at? Can you let me know? Right? And once they get back with your answers, compile them and see the highest number of platform sites and places that they go. So let's just say you find out most of your audiences or customers hang out at maybe entrepreneur.com. Now, is there some way you can work out a partnership or an ad campaign with entrepreneur.com to get more customers from that? Right? So the first way, what we have done earlier is we have architect a way to let our customers be able to find us. All right, so that's the awareness stage. Now, after that, we come down to the evaluation stage, right? Now, why should customers return to you after comparing your others? What's going to happen next is after they find out about you, they're going to evaluate what you have to offer, your products, your services. Now, customers will compare and evaluate whether you're worth it or not. And we all do it ourselves. Before we buy something, we compare things, right? And the truth is this, no amount of marketing can save a product that nobody wants. So the best way to find out whether your product is something that people want is to forget all the Facebook ads, websites, or domains and go and sell it to someone, three person within 48 hours and see if you can at least sell to three people in 48 hours. If you can't, that product is probably something that people do not want. All right. Now, after we've gone through the evaluation stage, we then go down to the consideration stage. Now, this is where your customers would consider buying a product or not. So this is the friction stage where they actually look at, should I buy a product? What is the risk if I buy into your product and I don't get what I receive, right? So this is where we look at putting out guarantees and also warranties, right? Now, one thing I want to show you in terms of digital marketing that we can use to understand our customers' consideration and behavior is by using video recordings on our site itself. So this is a video recording on Lucky Orange, which is a video recording software and a heat map software. I'm going to show you what it does here. I'm going to play this video. Hopefully it's smooth enough, but I want you to take a look at this. It'll take about 1 minute. But what you're seeing here right now, I hope this is smooth, is a recording of a visitor on our webpage itself. So as a marketer, I'm going to look at that recording and see what this, and put myself in the shoes of this user, right? What is this guy or girl looking at, right? What is available to them? So observe that for a while. This take about a minute. What do you think this person sees? Now, by the way, this recording is done at 2 times the speed because I don't want to waste time on this live session. So take a look at what this visitor is looking at. All right, he's looking at the price, right? What else is he looking at? He's looking at the bottom. He went all the way to the bottom. That's great. And now he or she starts clicking on the Q&A portion, the FAQ portions. Now, something I can think of here is, why can't we put the FAQ portions above the page if this person is engaging with the Q&A sections? So think about that for a moment. Now, there's a few tools you can do this for your website. I've placed down here on the right-hand side, you can see that's this one here you see on the screen is called Lucky Orange, which is affordable for a lot of people. We have things like Hotjar, Full Story. Go and explore that. I think this gives you and educates you about the behavior of your users. So really important. Now, one more thing I want to show you to understand your customer's digital journey is to use Google Analytics again. And this is known as the User Explorer within Google Analytics. So how do you find this? Let's go to Google Analytics, hit up Audience, and under User Explorer, you can begin to see down by a single user, their journey, right? So I'm going to show you a quick example of this. So what you're seeing here on my screen is an example of a customer who came to our site, okay? So on Google Analytics, you can see that this visitor viewed our landing page at 9:01 on April 22nd. All right, I know I'm going a bit fast, but take a look at it. 9:01, this person came inside. Now, he or she spent 14 minutes, actually 13 minutes on our site itself. So they spent 13 minutes. And you can see that they clicked to check out at 9:15 after reading the landing page, but did not actually purchase. Now, so some thought processes here. Can we retarget these people with ads? Or what's the messaging we should tell this person, right? After they actually check out our page, look at our landing page, put in their product into their cart, but did not buy. Can we retarget them with Facebook ad? And what should we tell them to get them back into buying our products, right? Now, the next thing you can see is 2 days later, on April 24, our same visitor came back via social media. Again, you can see that we have social on a desktop at 9:24 a.m. But then he or she left quite quickly after 8 seconds, just 8 seconds. So I'm assuming that he or this person, this visitor, has the browser open on, the tab open on his browser. Okay? So something we can learn here is that our visitor came back 2 days later and spent only 8 seconds before they go off. Now, after that, at night, 12 hours later, this visitor came back and viewed the page for 18 seconds. Okay? He or she is still considering. And then at 9:56 p.m., about an hour after that, he or she came back, went to and fro pages, and finally makes a purchase at 10:13 p.m. So these basically are the steps of what this visitor have done. So what we have learned here is our users actually go to and fro pages a lot, right? So can we assign an operator or chatbot at the checkout page to help, since they're going to and fro a lot, trying to make decisions, right? Or can we put in a product reassurance to guarantee there itself? Can we simplify the checkout process? And we know that this visitor or this customer took 2 to 3 days to make one purchase. So this is what we call the customer journey on the digital marketing world. And you can actually analyze all this from Google Analytics, and you should do that. All right, so once they go into consideration, the next thing is then where the magic happens. So the magic happens when your customers consume what you have. This is when they buy and become and turn into a customer, when they buy your products or services. And what's going to happen here is, well, you meet their expectations and hopefully exceed what they expected. Now, this is going to be on your product or service end. Okay? And then finally, they become advocates. They share our products. Now, we see a lot of this happening with restaurants, right? When we go to restaurants, when the food is good, right? You take a picture, you post it up on Facebook because it's good, right? Now, does your customer do that for your business itself? So what we've just seen there is the journey of a customer from a stranger, getting aware about your business, going through your business, right? Considering whether to buy your products or services or not, making a purchase, consuming a product, and then if your product is great and exceeds their expectations, they become a fan, they share your products on social media or whichever they want to, right? Now, the thing is, if you want more leads, focus on the top of funnel. So we put all our focus on the top of funnel. For example, this would be the awareness and evaluation stage of the customer journey. So what we have learned here is that a purchase is not a single operation. A lot of people think that they put out an ad, put out a blog post, or put out just something up there, and they want a single operation to happen. So they see an ad, buy. They see an ad, buy. It doesn't happen that way, right? We all know this. So the customer journey is basically a series of micro conversions. If you think about it for a moment, right? Think about it and relate it back to your business itself. You understand and you see that every parts of the touch points that your customers get into touch with your business is a micro conversion. So if you look on the right here, you can see that first of all, they probably stumble upon your ad, maybe on Facebook, maybe on Instagram, depending on where and who your customers is. They stumble upon your ad, right? That's a micro conversion. If they click on that ad, maybe you'll show them a video next, right? That's also another micro conversion. Are they watching a video or not? Then it goes back into maybe entering a newsletter. So every part of the customer journey is a micro conversions. And our job as a marketer is to help our customers move through that levels of commitment from being a stranger, go down into becoming a customer. Okay. Now let's look at some quick examples before we finish off this session. I know this is a very quick session, but I hope you have take back something and use it for your business itself. So I want you to actually map out the customer journey of your business itself. So let's take a quick example of this bakery store, right? So the need, awareness, evaluation, consideration, consume, share, that's a funnel. That's also the customer journey, right? So what is the need of a bakery store's customer? Well, they probably need food. They probably need to satisfy their cravings during an MCO. How do they get aware about this bakery store? It could be as easy as WhatsApp groups, right? People share information around WhatsApp groups. How can you create a marketing plan around that? People maybe see this on Instagram, right? Maybe their friends post about it on Instagram. So how do they get aware about the business itself? Then they go into evaluation. Should I get it from other store? Is this store too far from where I stay right now? That's the evaluation stage. Then we go into the consideration, right? Are you a legit bakery? Are you halal? Do you do free delivery? What if I get sick after eating your bread, right? And after that, we go into the consume. So the customers go through this journey, right? And we consume. Is your bread delicious? Now, if your bread is delicious, what's going to happen next is I'm going to share this on social media, right? And I say, wow, this sourdough is great. And in fact, this is what I exactly did 2 weeks ago, right? And yes, the bakery store's name is called Wowies. All right, another example, Lead. Lead is our company, right? What we do is we're in the business of helping people grow in the tech industry and also in the marketing and business industry, right? So if we take this as an example, what is our need of our customers? Now, the need of our customers is to acquire, right, high-paying tech skill sets. So how do we make them being aware about us? What we do is we create content on social media, right? And we do that by inspiring and also educating people. Not so much about ourselves, me, right? But inspiring people by creating content on social media and also events like this. When you watch an event like this, you probably get to know me and get to know about my business as well. So that's how we get people to be aware of us. Now, number 3, evaluation. How do we compare to others? Now, people are going to compare. How is lead different from the other businesses? How is lead different from, I don't know, whichever, right? You're going to compare prices, value, every single thing there. Then you're going to go into consideration. Okay, if I join your course, if I join your products, what would I get? Is there a guarantee? Would I finish what I've came to start, right? After that, they will consume our courses, right? They'll consume our courses, our products, services, and say, hey, is our courses up to their expectation? Do they actually learn or gain something from it? And if it's great, they'll begin to share this with their friends and say, hey, lead has helped break through my career for me. Great, go for that, right? So this is basically how we look at our customer journey. And every single day, we try and we work on different parts of this journey, call it a sales funnel, and optimize them towards our customers' experience instead of ourselves. All right, so recapping what we have learned. First of all, find out who and where your customers are. This is the most important thing, right? Don't just go out there on Facebook and just start running ads because your customers might not be there. So find out who your customers is, where they are. And number 2, map it out in a customer journey during an MCO. So customer journeys change. During an MCO, we can't see billboards. Maybe we can see, but that's from our mirrors out here, right? We don't see billboards. So your customer journey would change. So think about the user right now. What are they doing right now? They're spending time on Facebook. They're spending time on social media, right? How do we map out that customer journey? Now, in fact, I've placed out a template for you here called the customer roadmap. Again, I can't see the chat section here, so I'll send it to you after the session during the Q&A. Number 3, study the journey with Google Analytics. Now, we might assume your customer journey, but we might be wrong as well. So as they enter your site, see their journey. What are they looking at? What do they not want to see, right? And look at their behavior with video recordings. What matters more to them? Price, value, Number 5, serve the right messaging at every touch point. So we know that there's a lot of touch points, from being aware, from consideration, from buying, evaluating. So serve them with the right messaging. This is where tools comes in, like retargeting, email marketing. This is when the tools start to come in. So always focus on your customers first before looking at the tools. And number 6, think of micro conversions. A lot of people just think of one conversion at the end. Let's change that mindset. Think of micro conversions. How do you convert people from to look at your ads? How do you convert people to doing an action you want them to do down to becoming a customer? And how do you convert a customer to become an advocate? So micro conversions all the way. All right, that's how the customer journey roadmap looks like. And I've included that as a template for you to actually draw out and to illustrate your customer journey. All right, hope that helps you. So thank you so much. If you want the slides, email templates, and also the links, I know I wouldn't be able to share through my chat section here. I don't see it here. You can always go to reubenchen.com. That's my site, /staff, put in your email, and I'll send it to you at the end of the session. All right, thank you so much.
Hi, Reuben. Thank you so much for your sharings, for your presentation on the evolving consumer journey. I think very detailedly you shared on how it works from the journey actually evolves to detail how to look into it, how to look at their patterns and all those things. So thank you so much for that. And we will be taking up a few questions if that's okay with you.
Yep, sure. Let's go.
Okay. I think the most difficult is to know where do they hang out when you know who are the target audience. Any advice?
I think the most difficult is to know where do they hang out when you know who
are the target audience.
All right. So the best way to do this is to ask them. All right. It's the best way to do this is to ask them. I think nothing. You wouldn't know. So what we are doing every day is we are assuming things, right? We assume that our customers are on Facebook, right? So the best thing to know is to ask them and do it as an email. I've included a template for you. So what you can do is just email all your users, your customers, and say, where do you hang out at? I want to be part of that group as well. And you find out from this group of people who share the same worldview, where do they hang out at? And then that's where you go into. I hope that helps you.
Okay. And the next is regarding the channels that customers come from. Can it still work if the conversion column in analytics is not set up?
Regarding the channels that customers come from, can it still work if the conversion column is analytics is not set up? No. So you have to actually set up a conversion. If it's not a conversion, it can be a goal, right? So in Google Analytics, you can set things up as goals, and a goal meaning that what do you constitute as a success on your site? So for example, if someone clicks on a link, someone clicks on the download brochure, someone do something, clicks on a video, you can attribute that as a goal itself and map it out in your Google Analytics. So you can immediately find out which parts of your acquisition channels, social media, offline, whichever, which one is giving you that goal that you want to. So you can do that. So I think it's something very possible. You can do it today itself, in fact.
Mm-hmm. I think your sharing was very, very impactful. Many people are sharing that great sharing and a lot of insights that they took away from your sharing. And
Thank you.
okay, the next question: any tips for a brand new website, no data, no audience, and how to optimize it?
I wouldn't optimize a new website. Okay, so what I do, the thing about people right now these days, right, is they focus so much on, oh, I need a website. So they spend like 3-6 months building a site, looking at analytics, and then not doing the real work. Now, the thing about business is to look for a customer. So it's so simple. I mean, don't build a website yet. Build a website when you find that you have a need to. So if I were you, anybody who is starting a new business today, I'll just go on Messenger and message some people who might need my services and say, hey, do you need this? Right? Get at least 3, 4, or 5 customers. Then when you find a need to go from manual to an automatic way, then you look into building a site, get data, and optimize it. But first of all, look for paying customers first. That's the hardest part.
That's how you generate the consumer, right?
Yeah.
And all right, the next question is, what do you think if you WhatsApp the customer instead of emailing them?
If a customer like it, do it, right? So I'm going to give you an example. I have a friend who is a personal trainer. He runs a personal training group in Penang. In fact, his office is just next to Exabyte's office in Penang, right? Now, the thing about his business is that most of his users are the elder people, the more mature people, right? They are not so much of the young people like us. I'm still young, yeah, who goes online, goes to Facebook, uses all those kind of stuff, right? But his customers do not use that. So if you're going to follow the conventional marketing tactics and go on Facebook, market to all these people, you won't get the right target audience, right? Now, these people, we know that they are on WhatsApp. So why not use WhatsApp to message them if they're comfortable with that? It's always about the customer, not about you.
Okay. Okay. I think that's the questions for now. And I think in terms of consumer journey, I think different industry they do it in different way. In terms of engaging their customers, in terms of getting to see how they can interact with them, get their data, and target audience and all those things. But one question that I had was in terms of currently during this COVID-19 and all, right? What is the best way you think to see the consumer journey in terms of to track them and to see how are they doing, because everyone's at home and we are pretty much clueless about what are they going to do. So in that case, how do we like track back the consumer journey, consumer records and all?
I think there's no way to 100% know about the journey of our customers, that we have to be very honest with that. But one way, besides of using data analytics and also the tools that we have, is to just simply ask our customers, right? And that's why you see a lot of e-commerce sites also ask their customers, where have you heard about us? From your friends, from social media? They're asking about the journey, right? So they're understanding our customers. So if big companies are doing that, why aren't we doing it?
Yeah. Okay. So I think the many times you mentioned that if you want something, you just ask your customer, and that's how you get to know it. Yep. I think one of them said that mostly in Asian country they don't read email, but they do spend a lot of time on WhatsApp and Facebook.
That's also an assumption. Again,
Assumption.
and see if that's true or not. But yeah, if people spend time on WhatsApp, just do WhatsApp marketing. Yeah.
Okay. And I think, Reuben, if you would like to do any conclusion or wrap up for your sharing, you may do so. You've got 5 minutes before we wrap up.
Conclusion to my session?
Yeah.
Okay. So in conclusion, I would just say that marketing is about the people, your customers itself. And I think a lot of marketers have taken it the wrong way, where they base it on themselves itself. So they start building up, they start building up products, services that people don't really want at the end of the day, right? We all hear about marketing strategies like using TikTok, using Instagram, which is great, right? And
Yeah.
that works for some people, but it might be very
Mhm.
different for you. So put it this way: we all admire how Apple does marketing, right? They come out with
Mhm.
great ads, do a lot of commercials, they run Super Bowl ads, and all that. Now, can your business do that? Probably not, right? So for everybody else, customer journey and understanding of customers is a total different thing. So the way you do marketing is going to be different from how the other business do marketing, even though if you are in the same industry and same field.
Okay.
Hope that helps.
Okay. Huge thank you to you, Reuben, for joining us at Marketing in the New Normal and giving us a lot of insight into this topic. And I think a lot of them got benefited a lot. I think I'm reading the comments, everyone saying that at least yes, there's something to bring back from your presentation. So thank you so much for your input.
Thank you. So I hope everyone enjoyed this session as much as I enjoyed creating it for all of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Reuben.
All right.
Exabytes. Grow your business online.